welcome back again to the Boise State Esports Arena as we continue our coverage of Boise State games throughout this week and today. We have started off the stream taking a look at Boise State Blue Valorant facing off against William and Mary, taking the win to be able to continue off into the playoffs. And now we're going to take a look and jump into a different game to take a look at the Boise State Power Esports Conference varsity Valorant team in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate facing off against their opponent Nebraska. For the final of the Power Esports Conference games this week, we have had a couple playing, just in general, we've been playing throughout the week. Rocket League and Valorant have been going up against the University of Nebraska, as this is the final week of normal competition. So this is the last chance for all teams to really be able to compete and, take the wins, learn, grow, and just take everything they've been learning. And I'm honestly just excited to kind of reflect and see what we have been, learning and growing with the Super Smash Bros. Team and what they might be able to do tonight as they face off against their opponents.
Yeah, at the final of any season, it is a great time to look back and look at your accomplishments. And the name of the game from Boise State, in my opinion, is how much some of their newer players have grown. I know Supersonic, the Olimar player, he was representing a little bit of a faulty game plan at the very beginning of the PEC, but he's been pulling up recently, and I'm really proud of the improvements I've seen from his Olimar game plan, to be honest.
Yeah, he's been going from just having a little bit of a struggle in the earlier matches to becoming one of the anchors of Boise State, able to hold down the line and really help give some space for Leodog, who tends to stay as the anchor, to feel more free to help take out more challenging players. I also think that Gokis, who will not be playing tonight, has also been able to get a lot of really good plays off as we take a little bit of a look at all of our fighter players in not only Super Smash Bros. But Street Fighter, as we get to see a couple of our awesome players who have a lot of talent within the fighting game genre, which is a really fun one to watch, and I'm excited to see this crew battle between both the University of Nebraska and Boise State. What I was saying with Gokis, though, is he's been kind of a variety player who has a couple different options that he can play, and although Joker is one of his strongest characters, it has been nice to see him be able to be more comfortable and confident on some of those characters that they just kind of needed to swap to because Joker was not going to get enough damage off. And so I think that with that, as well as, Dr. Schmungus just kind of holding strong on the Palutena, this team has really been able to form and gain some strength. Though, as I did mention, we won't be seeing Gokis tonight as he's going to be subbed in with Asteria on starting, looks like King K. Rool, facing off against the University of Nebraska team. Looks like Link, Diddy Kong, and Zelda will be their opponents going forward, which are characters we really haven't seen at all in the PEC season, so this will be interesting. Link, of course, being one of the other sword fighters, not Fire Emblem, so he gets a little bit of grace, but one of the other characters that has quite a few different characters to go through. But Link is a character that not only has a sword, but a lot of his utility from the dungeons, and then there is Diddy Kong, the good old DK Donkey Kong. Well, I guess child of Donkey Kong, ready to, pack a punch, but not quite as much, not really the heavy hitter. And then there's Zelda, who is Zelda.
Yeah, she has a lot of phantom play. I want to see a lot of items, and we are going to see it with Korai or Asteria and his King K. Rool side B, alongside the Link down Bs. I believe this might be a button check, or it might be real as we move on to the match.
All right, jumping into the match, Boise State versus Nebraska here. Already, Link showing off the utility of his abilities, throwing out his bombs to try and get some early damage off onto King K. Rool here.
Nebraska representing the Idaho, a little bit of a taunting tag here. I believe they're playing very slow, which works better for Link, as there's a little bit of a scramble in mid-stage for what they want to choose.
48% onto King K. Rool right now.
It does really look like a button check, to be honest, but
95% here onto King K. Rool, not able to get the recovery here. Yeah, with the check going to be just doing a little bit of a reset, making sure. I mean, hey, as we're talking about with Super Smash Bros., we are playing online as well, which changes up the game. That's why I looked at Zelda for a moment and went, oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, Zelda.
Online Zelda is very interesting.
Interesting is a word for it. Dealing with her down B when you're in...
It's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, dealing with that down B when you're in the sludge of online and maneuvering around it is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I want to see how Boise State approaches her.
Yeah, as we are getting ready to jump into the match. Honestly, I think that is one of the interesting things about how Smash Bros. Works. You know, when we look into tournaments later in the year and we look at the tournament, you know, the Halloween tournament that we had, we saw a variety of different characters because some of those characters could function locally versus not being able to do anything online. As we jump into it, Nebraska getting some crazy damage off onto Boise State right off the bat, 85% onto King K. Rool.
And something that is not functioning is Asteria at the moment, not finding anything versus the Link. It's a pretty difficult situation, but looking to get back on the stage in this ledge trapping position.
Yeah, Boise State able to get through the ledge trap, but the bomb is there waiting, and Nebraska is going to capitalize on it, getting a massive amount of damage onto King K. Rool. He's looking for that counter, really does want to be able to react to the Link, gets the grab off, and does get some damage off, but isn't able to use the opportunity.
The bomb.
That is a nasty combo to deny someone ledge recovery there, and with that, the first stock for Boise State is lost.
Yeah. The bomb is so awkward for Asteria to deal with, and these projectiles are the name of the game for Nebraska and the bane of Asteria.
88, 96 to 31%. Link holding strong in the middle, just kind of keeping control of the center and also using that bomb to really kind of hold off one side that Asteria just can't go to when it's down there, making the move here.
The item bombos literally, but doesn't find the finisher. Finds it there in neutral instead.
Yeah, Asteria down to his last stock now.
Yeah. I'm impressed by Nebraska so far. Can they represent a chain? 45 total. That is a slightly scary uppy to go for, but into his range.
68% damage to 50% here, forcing King K. Rool onto the ledge and not really giving him room to breathe. He is able to try and stop the combos, but this might be the end. We saw the bomb was rather devastating here, 117%. Now 118, trying to hold fast in the middle, but once again, Link has just a lot of control.
There it is, yeah, the ledge trump into the up B. There is a slight mix-up there, but unfortunately, Asteria does not find the right choice to survive there, as Asteria is down 0 stocks to 3 of Smoothies.
Yeah, and with that, Smoothie is able to keep his stocks and continue into the crew battle, and Boise State will have to choose who will go up against who's already shown to have some just really good control, this Link here. Though, I will say, for Boise State, Asteria having just a little bit less experience than the rest of the team. This is jumping into the end of the season. That's going to be a rough spot to try and really get get into the comfort zone, especially when you are the one starting off. So good spot to be in so far, though Boise State is down essentially a whole character right now.
Yeah, an entire character, and the rest of the team does have a little bit of information on Smoothly, understanding what their choices is and what their best counterpick is. We are going to see that when we jump in. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dr. Schmungus or the Doc upcoming, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it's a
Considering
toss-up.
it would be a good way to deal with the bombs and the boomerangs by having a little bit of ranged potential yourself. I also could see Olimar coming out because being able to use the Pikmin for versatility and the recovery, that could be that. But considering we see the name change, I'm going to assume that we're going to be seeing Roy
Oh, really?
swapping off of Palutena. I talked about Fire Emblem characters, so it's gonna get summoned. That's just how it works, right? At this point.
The Legend of Emblem.
The Legend of Emblem. I was thinking about it, and we have a Link and a Zelda on the other team, so at that point, I suppose, fitting we're getting the Legend of Zelda versus, Swordsman versus Swordsman. Who will come out on top? We're about to find out.
In this match, Nebraska does not have to sacrifice any stocks here.
So we're going to jump right into it, and already the Sword Masters are trying to figure out who can get off the first attacks, with damage already going on to Boise State, with Boise State trying to gain some control of the center here, not really able to.
I love the tempo from Boise State, forcing Nebraska into a much faster playstyle than even just last match. Projectiles aren't getting too much value, but what is for Nebraska is these forward airs from Link. Even though he can't use his boomerang as much, he's still got the sword.
Great parry there from Boise State, but they are taking on a lot of damage. 98% onto the stock and 38% onto Link here. Smoothie hanging on. Just
Let's Trump again. No full punish though.
yeah, we have seen how dangerous this can be, but Boise State is able to get it around at this time, but the grab is going to send them right back onto the ledge. The bomb is there, and Boise State unable to avoid it, luckily able to avoid the knockout. They're going to be able to do it again? Well, luckily they're able to dodge it this time.
Ooh, that's a beautiful side B as a punish, a quick punish. And even though, pardon me, Roy does get forward tilted on the ledge as he tries to recuperate here. The approach gets boomeranged, however.
43 to 64%, Boise State taking the lead in percentage, but not wanting to take too much damage on this stock if they want to be able to deny the Zelda here. Well, the Link, I keep mixing them up.
What do you mean?
You know, yeah, that's Zelda, right?
Yeah, what do you mean? The title says The Legend of Zelda.
Exactly.
We're controlling Zelda.
Yeah, 100% onto Link here now. Going to get launched in the air as Boise State is able to take a stock. Now even it up a little bit though, 98%. This could be Boise State's next stock if they aren't careful.
Yeah, those forward airs representing the kill once more, but for Roy, with punishing just another one forward tilt could be just enough.
Oh!
However,
And once again, that just deadly bomb onto the bottom of stage prevents any recovery, and with that Boise State loses another stock to it, though racking up the damage onto Nebraska themselves might be able to get another KO before losing a stock here. Watching this ledge, next couple combos could really be the determiner here.
Yeah, just needs the sweet spot on any jab or side B. Not finding it quite yet. Nebraska does know that is what Boise State wants. And double boomerang into double jump read. That's 3 reads in a row for Nebraska, as Roy is at 86 and a dream.
Oh, with the bomb on one side and Link on the other. Not a lot you can do. And although able to take a stock, now down 2 characters with Link holding on to both of his, which is not a spot you want to be in, unfortunately.
Horrible exchange rate for Boise State. The bomb, as we've been seeing, even though it's scary on detonate, it's arguably scarier just chilling there as an active hitbox. It is what cleaned up the match there for Smoothie and Nebraska. We will have to see one of Supersonic and Leodog here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Supersonic first.
Yeah, trying to just get as many stocks off of Smoothie before having Leodog come out to try and get through the rest of the characters. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the play that they go with. I mean, Olimar is not a bad matchup into Link at all, with the way that he can use the Pikmin at a range, which will allow him to stay away from the sword, and you know, he has such good maneuverability that being able to avoid the boomerangs and the bombs shouldn't be the worst, though we've seen how potent they've been. I mean, I completely forgot the idea that as long as you get the timing right, you could just deny someone off ledge, but it looks like Boise State is going to bring out the big guns, at least in the case of the heavyweight. DDD coming out to try and stop this Link in his tracks.
Yeah, a little bit of pre-gaming here from Boise State as they attempt to take Nebraska's first stock with a lot of aerial control from Leodog is what they're looking for. However, the projectiles are the worst of the world for Leodog.
Boomerang going out here, dealing quite a bit of damage to Leodog, now 67%, using the Gordos to his best ability to just try and deflect and keep back as many people as possible. Going to get a grab off and now knock back Link for a little bit, but not able to capitalize on it as Link is able to avoid the recovery and bring DDD up to 113%.
Just a little bit of ledge trapping from Nebraska goes awry as Leodog's jump out of shield is sniped by Smoothie, but given a leash on life here, finds the up air as a shark.
The up air is able to give him some room to maneuver, and he's able to defy death twice, but not a third time, as the bomb once again is just going to be that fatal last move there to deal the damage, and Boise State loses their first stock
Speaking of the bomb, Leodog makes a small string there with it. Nebraska firing their own small string, and as we've been mentioning, that active hitbox, it's just such a presence.
44 to 74% here now. Boise State looking for their opportunity on ledge, trying to avoid the bombs, but the damage is racking up once again. 102 to 74. Bomb goes up. Once again, just a brutal combo that Boise State is trying to get through. Gets through the bomb, but is going to be knocked out and lose another stock.
And yeah, this Link Layadog needs to find at least one stock for Supersonic to clean up and attempt to find the... Oh yeah, that Jet Hammer representing it. Does not fully find it, but still ledge control to some degree. Waning away though as Layadog is pushed closer and closer back to mid-screen.
116 to 55%. Boise State has Link at a dangerous spot, and he's not going to be able to recover, losing the stock there and bringing it even 1-1, though Boise State at 85% right now.
Yeah, of all ways for Nebraska to lose that stock. Not the one I expected, but this bomb is representing a very familiar way for Nebraska to find Layadogs.
102 to 0%. Boise State hasn't been able to get a hit onto Link yet, but he does get the swallow for a second there, throwing out the Gordos to just create some space. All Layadog needs is one really good opportunity window to get the combo off, but Link is not providing.
Yeah, the anti-air up smash does end the game.
And with that, Link is going to be able to take out the third member of Boise State, and now it is down to Supersonic to take him down, and the rest of what looks like Nebraska here, which is a tall order, not impossible, but quite a tall order for an Olimar.
Tall order, but it is doable. That is the beauty of the crew battle system. One player can be the hero and can go super. Will it be Supersonic in this situation?
Yeah, I do think that Olimar has the chance, but the issue of just being a character that can't take a lot of percentage on will have to be playing very carefully to get the knockout before Link does. As we've seen, Link has some pretty heavy-hitting moves and can rack up percentage fairly fast. Getting those Pikmin lined up, kind of, you know, ducks in a row in a way, will be the best strategy he can get if he wants to be able to jump into this. And as we get ready to jump into the match, we'll have to see if Boise State is able to recover, take this Link out, and see if they can get through the rest of them, or if Nebraska is going to shut down Boise State right here.
Indeed. Let's move on. There's no speculating on what the matchup is going to be here. It will be Supersonic versus Smoothie, who will come out on top.
I mean, technically, we could speculate in the way that maybe Olimar or Supersonic will completely prank us and pull out a character he's never played before, but...
You know?
We might see it, but I doubt it as we jump in. Olimar versus Link. There's always something.
Yeah, there's always something, I guess. My fault. He could have even went to the alt skin of Alf. But instead, we're chilling on the normal Olimar with this SDs as we start the match. The forward smash on Link does have a projectile. It's a very rare situation since it only shows up at 0%. Nebraska representing it pretty strong, though.
Using that to take down some Pikmin. Boise State forced onto the ledge here, having to try and recover the Pikmin as fast as possible to gain some extra ground here. Not really able to keep a lot of them, though. Dodging the bomb, however, though, at 72 to 23%. Olimar already looking a little bit of the danger zone here.
Yeah, losing this stock would be brutal. You can't let Smoothie ease in the load for the rest of his 3 teammates, but that is exactly what's going to go on with that bomb.
Yeah, Olimar just not able to really compete and hold on when those bombs go off, being so light. It's going to lose the first stock, and we see right now Link just keeping the pressure on here, with both just not really giving Olimar the room he needs to work and keeping the bombs up. Boise State struggling to find ground that they need.
Yeah, they are digging Pikmin out of the ground, but that is not the ground that is satisfactory, as these Link aerials are just going at 10,000 APM. What is BSU going to do about them?
All right, now Boise State does have Link on ledge, but he's able to get off quite quickly, and now at 104% to 71, now 90%. Boise State has a chance to take him out, but once again, one powerful sword swing will be the knockout for Olimar, and he's going to have to move on to his final stock, and the last stock that Boise State has in this round.
Yeah, Supersonic, don't let it be you. Don't let them clean sweep. Smoothie 1v4 here. That is at the least you can do with this purple Pikmin out of shield, representing the hope of Boise State. in this crew battle set.
135%, really just using that bomb to create space here and forcing Olimar into a lot of rough positions.
He's grabbed this bomb like 4 times. He's just playing fetch at this point.
I mean, it is a very scary thing to be up against, as we've seen how much damage it does and the way that it's been forcing Boise State to play. Link has been controlling the tempo of the game, though now Boise State does have him on the ledge, not able to keep him there, but at 144%, really, Link doesn't want to get into a position where Olimar could knock him out and just trying to keep him in between the bomb.
Yeah, nickel and diming here from Nebraska, but will it be enough quickly enough before BSU finds the hit they need at the 144%? But it is not Boise State who finds the hit they needed. It was Nebraska, creating a fatal trap for Supersonic. SSBU 1v4s Boise State.
And with that, the first round of this best-of-3 crew battle will go to Nebraska as we get ready to reset and jump into the next set of stocks. Boise State, now having at least an idea of how Smoothie plays, will be able to kind of swap up the character roster, maybe decide how they want to go into this and think kind of just like what the strategy might be. After all, most likely, I mean, I would not be shocked if we see Smoothie out first. He was able to take down the entirety of Boise State. And so now Boise State will have to decide what player they want to go first to be able to try and contest and take him out.
Yeah, I did like the choice of Asteria at the very beginning, but now you do know who is likely to go first. You might want to save Asteria for later, as Leadog is going to be the first representative versus Blue Jay, the Diddy Kong.
So it looks like we'll be seeing a swap up from Nebraska here and from Boise State, jumping right into it. Both players looking for this one opportunity here. 5% onto Boise State, but not a lot of damage yet as he gets a swallow off. Does gain some control, but Diddy Kong is going to fire right back.
Yeah, Diddy Kong, a very playful trickster on this roster, to be honest. The banana is the big tool, and these brawlic moves up close. Does not have the most range, but Boise State can't run from it for too long, so.
Boise State trying to create some space with the Gordos. Diddy Kong tries to begin another combo, but Leadog dodges around him as much as he can. 81 to 30%, having to dodge the banana on ledge. Doesn't want to get hit by that immediately. Going to get grabbed and sent off the side, but not out of the count yet. Going to be almost denied the recovery, but hanging on, able to move.
Yeah, these just setups here, and the banana peel, any one hit from this banana peel out of shield in neutral or any other situation is spelling doom for Leadog. Lives the up smash due to the heaviness of King DDD, but it won't last for that much longer.
Yeah, 155 to 66%. Dodging the peanuts and getting back on the stage won't last for long as Boise State loses their first stock of the next match here with Diddy Kong on 85%.
More than reasonably at kill percent for Boise State, but they need to find the right hit. And these monkey flips make it very difficult to catch Diddy Kong. The ledge cancel even, Nebraska showing they know their movement. But Leadog knows his way around items as well using this banana peel.
111 to 75%. Boise State getting Diddy Kong fairly close to the knockout zone, but taking on a lot of damage themselves. Ooh, one good Gordo is going to knock him out, however, and Boise State evens it out 2-2.
Beautiful Gordo, anticipating the monkey flip was correct. But now you have to deal with a full fresh stock, but this rage might be enough to make it real quick from Leadog.
100% to 48%. Leadog trying to get off as many combos as he possibly can. Parry onto the Gordo. The monkey flip that Boise State is able to read.
Yeah.
But with that combo right off of ledge and the amount of damage it does, Boise State is going to lose another stock.
Yeah, banana peel is just such a threatening kill confirm option. And Nebraska has been representing it and its power so well. Can Boise State snipe Nebraska and take another stock here?
63, 74, 90%. Good go combo here. Knocking Diddy Kong off the side. 106 to 110 now. Boise State playing the ledge game, knowing that if they get one good hit off, they can knock him out. Now 125%. Gordos go out. Really solid edge guard there into a read is going to give Boise State another stock in their favor, 1-1 right now.
1-1, a beautiful anti-air from Leodog, but now he has to deal with the ledge trampling situation. Has a banana peel, but it was forced out of his hands, and Diddy Kong is where he's at the most comfortable with a banana peel and a kill confirm, waiting Leodog if he makes one wrong decision.
Ooh, 97 to 18%. That's the swallow off, creating some space here. Back into the middle when any dangerous hit could be the last for Leodog, which is not what he wants here. Going to get launched in the air, doing his best to dodge any attacks. Now 138 to 20%. Really just trying to keep him back.
Up smash, just raw up smash in neutral shows how confident Nebraska is, but you don't need anything raw anymore with this banana pill. And if Boise State gets hit by it, they will be as cooked as can be. But Leodog is not looking for that. He's looking,
Not able to get the knockout though with the amount of damage onto his last stock. Nebraska is able to take the first game, but compared to the previous matchup, he is at one stock this time around, so it does give Boise State a much more comfortable position to try and take this back from.
Yeah, this is much more reasonable. Losing Leodog does sting, but Boise State, representing that they won't go out without a fight here versus Nebraska, looking to reset the set count, and who is worthy of finding that final stock from Blue Jay?
I think they're going to have to be really careful with this too, because Olimar is not a character that you want going up against this. And I mean, Palutena could, but if the doc is going to stick to Roy, also a character that I'll have to be really careful about just going up due to like attack speeds, I think. I would be curious if they're going to bring out Asteria just to have like any potential knockouts on that last stock. It's one stock, trying to clean it up as fast as possible. I don't know. I think if anything, just don't put Olimar in there. I don't think that ends well for him, just with the amount of damage and the speed in which Diddy Kong can move around. As we saw with Link, that can be really deadly for Olimar. Yeah,
and alongside that, even if Olimar does take the stock, I think the other matchups other than Link are kind of awkward for him. I mean, Zelda is manageable, but the Palutena hitboxes are not the best or most favorable for Supersonic. So I would like to see someone more aggressive, maybe the heavy representation from Asteria or the rushdown from the dock. We will have to see.
Yeah. I do think this is going to be just kind of, I mean, we have a really rough roster against us right now, Boise State, with Nebraska repping both like Link, Diddy Kong, Zelda, Palutena, all just really heavy hitters with some strong abilities. And as we saw with Diddy Kong, just already putting up a really good fight against King Dedede. So although the heavy advantage could be there, we already saw that it might not matter if the damage percentages are too high. But it looks like, although the one I was really scared about is going to be how this goes, but final destination will be where we're heading for what could be the final destination of Diddy Kong.
Yeah, final destination. Yeah. I kind of like this situation, even though the matchup is kind of scary, but the banana peels are not most favorable on FD. They're the most threatening for Boise State. Can Supersonic claw his way into the next step unscathed?
20% to 20%, keeping even in the percentages right now, just rolling around and trying to avoid taking any brutal combos. Boise State able to avoid being trapped on the ledge, and now just using the Pikmin to really kind of hold off Diddy Kong as best they can.
A small lineup of Pikmin so far for Supersonic, only a purple and a yellow, which isn't the worst, to be honest. He gets to attack with those purple more frequently, but it's all gone as the first stock for Supersonic has been taken by a banana peel.
46 to 6%. Diddy Kong trying to get a couple combos off, but Boise State able to rack up the damage once more. Now 87% onto Diddy Kong. Starting to get into a more dangerous zone for him, but he's not deterred just yet. At 47% now. On to Olimar.
Oh wow, the monkey flip. That interaction is so scary, like you mentioned. The aggressiveness and the mobility of Diddy Kong with the monkey flip attack did give Nebraska a bit of momentum.
But Supersonic was able to take the stock, so the goal was achieved here. And Supersonic able to move Boise State into the next character, though losing a stock at this point. Boise State still is down.
Yep, got taxed a little bit. Not the worst, though. Leodog is gone, but so is Blue Jay. And Nebraska has the world of options, and we will just have to see which one they decide to put against Olimar.
I will say, although I was really scared for that matchup, it didn't actually end up being as bad as I thought it was going to be, and so I think that's just like what goes to show how the power of like Super Smash Bros. Can be. Just characters, you know. At this point, well, I mean, like, you know, there's a meta. It exists, right? But at the same time, like, if you really think about the matchups and you're careful, even though Olimar is a very light character who has to be careful, was able to get enough damage to take down the stock. And now we'll get to see a completely new matchup. Zelda versus Olimar.
Yeah, we definitely haven't seen a Zelda so far, but she is quite infamous. Definitely better online than offline. And we're going to see why with that reflector, the spin, and this phantom being the key moves in her kit.
And the amount of damage that they can rack up is insane. Boise State at 40% to Nebraska at 29.
Yeah, the lightning kick, weak or strong. Kind of an annoyance no matter what, but definitely don't want to get sweet spotted or your stock is gone. Definitely at 80%. And look at this phantom, it covers so much space.
It also, because it can go off of the ledge, you have an issue of just not really being safe anywhere. As we see Zelda take the first stock here, just kind of racking up the damage and really controlling the space here. Olimar did not have a lot of spaces to go to.
And look at this, no hitbox on the recovery. It's just, the world is Nebraska's oyster here on the ledge trapping with the phantom and the Zelda moves. And we're just seeing the bombos, to be honest, and lightning kick, as I mentioned before, the sweet spot, eviscerating supersonic stocks.
Yeah, and with that, Boise State has a new opponent to contend against. We've seen the Link, we've seen the Diddy Kong, and now we've seen Zelda, so Boise State has to decide how to best handle this going forward, what characters that they might try to use, and how to just best handle this, because after all, this is currently a best of 3, and if Nebraska is able to take down their last 2 players, they will be able to take it all.
Yeah, the all. In this final set of PEC, however, the stronghold, the people holding the line, Asteria and Dr. Schmungus, I do like their chances at least a little bit. I know they are on the back foot, but they do have Rushdown versus a lot of characters that like to run away, the Roy specifically, and the Terry,
I did hear about this. So Asteria is a Street Fighter player who plays Terry. So, I mean, if you're going to go into Super Smash Bros., right? You might as well swap the character, something you've used before. The combos are similar. I mean, considering how Smash Bros. Decided to implement the character into the game and keep some of his combos, you know, it's not the worst idea, right?
Yeah, coming from King of Fighters in both Smash Bros. And Street Fighter 6 now, as of a couple months ago, Asteria, not the most prepped in the world of Ultimate, but he might be more prepped on the world of traditional fighters. We're going to have to see as can he take a couple stocks and claw Boise State back into this set.
2, 1, go!
All right, and the Power Wave is the first sign-off as the match begins. Both at 3 stocks, we're going to get right into it. Zelda dealing just some immediate damage. Once again, just showing the power of Zelda in online play. But Terry, being a brawler, is going to get right in Zelda's face and deliver it back.
I want to see a lot of the movement abilities from Terry. We've seen it before from opponent teams, but this power dunk, for example, great way to engage a fight. Grab for Korai, doesn't get much.
80% to 80%. Boise State staying even so far. Not letting Nebraska take too much of a lead. Ooh, dodging the attack, now able to get a combo off. Giving Zelda a little bit more of a run for her money here with the go out as well. There's some more damage that Zelda does not want them to get near. And although not able to capitalize on it, not going to go down without a fight here.
Yeah, the Buster Wolf does end up whiffing, giving Nebraska a stock, but not the worst idea from Asteria. The worst idea is him not having a double jump anymore. Regained it when he got down, but the momentum is definitely on Nebraska's side as he kickflips off the stage.
Wrong direction recovery fail for Boise State. Going to lose a stock for that, but, you know.
Typical of a Street Fighter player. He doesn't know what ledges are, only corners. As he's going to the corner right now, looking to take the stock. Does not find it quite yet.
Goes for the Power Wave, dodges the Sentinel at least, and now 43 to 109. Zelda is so close to a knockout, and he knows that. And
just chilling.
yeah, at this point, just staying on the other side, looking for the opportunity.
The burn knuckle, just like Street Fighter as well, manages to teabag a little bit, showing his fighting spirit. Can Korai make just a little bit more of a miracle happen for Boise State here?
93% on the last stock.
That was a ridiculous hitbox.
off guard and knocked out, but not without taking a stock.
Yeah, that was impressive from Koray, finding the burn knuckle in neutral to anti-air Zelda. Arvin still showing at 2 stocks, but Dr. Smungus has a lot on his plate to keep Boise State alive.
Yeah, and with moving into this fight as Roy, which would make sense to me, I think, at this point to kind of stick with. I do like Palutena. Palutena has a lot of really good uses here, but, you know, going into this round and with this character, I do think that being able to get up in Zelda's face, just as Terry did to take the stock, is not a bad idea going forward. So as Boise State prepares for their next matchup and their kind of final stand here to be able to take the stock, Nebraska is kind of just standing ready and waiting with Zelda prepared to try and shut down this advance.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 1 in a million situation for Dr. Swingus to prove how strong he is for the Boise State esports team. He has done quite a lot for us so far, as we've mentioned on the Palutena, getting a lot of stocks. Now, can he culminate it into 8 total stocks? Definitely a tough feat, and the odds are not likely, but they are always there.
Yeah. So as we get ready to jump into the match, I will be excited to see how Roy gets to go after Zelda. We did see that, you know, Link was just not, like, having some of the zoning potential that was really rough, but Zelda doesn't have that as much. Like, there is the Sentinel, and there's some of that, but Zelda is surprisingly kind of brawly herself, which is funny for the princess character.
Oh, but we actually see more Fire Emblem and your favorite character in the game, as we see kind of an anti-zoning sword here. Definitely a smart choice as well if you don't want to just risk and gamble your life on your stocks and instead can play a little bit more consistent, almost like your Palutena, but
with the sword.
Yeah, just with the sword.
And no range, really. Now with that, Boise State jumps into the match. Zelda getting a grab off, dealing some damage to Boise State. Boise State retaliating and keeping the damage percentages fairly even here, 23 to 20%.
Yeah, just staying right in his sweet spot zone. That is the only game plan for Marth. Simple but effective, but finding his way in is always the most difficult part. A little bit of a read by the Doc, but doesn't find the tipper side B, so no quick evaporated stock quite yet.
82% to 54. Zelda hanging on, starting to gain the advantage in percentages, going to knock Marth off of the map here, but he is able to get away from the ledge guard and get a really good shield that probably saved his stock there.
Oh, absolutely. But what won't save stocks is getting hit by stray nairs like that kill confirm. Nebraska only needs 2 more stocks to steal the deal. This downer, though, might be putting up a fight.
94%. Zelda getting very close to the danger zone, but those reflects really putting in a lot of work here.
The lightning kick, look at how far he's off.
Oh, going for a very risky play here is going to succeed for Nebraska as they take another stock from Boise State. 94% to 0%. The very last stock for Boise State here. For Nebraska really just trying to knock it out as fast as possible. Boise State hanging on, going to deny that though, not wanting to bring it down to a 2-1. Boise State wants to fight to the last stock if possible.
And that type of spacing is all Boise State needs to get a couple more matches out of Nebraska. But it might be tough as the Zelda is representing Doom for the Hero King Marth.
51% to 57. Zelda taking on some more damage on this ledge here, going to break away from the guard and force Marth onto the platform. Thank goodness for it being there, or that Sentinel would have been rough. But Boise State, the fake out could have been right there to knock out for Boise State. They now have to fight a little bit longer to try and confirm this win.
Yeah, the wave dash into down smash. You don't see wave dashing that much in Smash Ultimate, but it worked out well for Zelda there. This down smash angle is brutal to recover from, but still alive. 105
to 111. It could be either player's game here with the damage percentages that were at. Great shield to block, but not able to get the knockout. Boise State really wanting this opportunity to get this character out, but Zelda taking just a moment on ledge is going to knock out Boise State and take the second match and take the best of 3 overall, with Nebraska being the winner of this matchup.
Yeah, brutal situation. That was definitely playable for Dr. Smungus, but gets eked out barely at the very end. from
I mean,
the zone up
realistically,
air.
we saw what could have been the knockout there. And
Yeah.
so overall, great playing from the Doc as well as the rest of the Boise State players. And also really good, gameplay from Nebraska as well, ultimately being able to take the win. Since this is the last week for PEC Smash Bros, do you have like any final thoughts and reflections on just the season and the match as a whole?
Yes, I really do love how the newcomers for Boise State have been representing themselves. This season was destined to be a little bit tough due to those newcomers, but they definitely show what Boise State is capable of, both on the field and adaptation-wise.
Yeah. Fighting as many tough opponents as possible, gaining some new skills, communication, and just growing as a team. Boise State, although not able to take this win, has been able to have a really strong season, and Nebraska as well putting on a great showing for this final week of Super Smash Bros. PEC. So congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to Nebraska on taking on the win. That's all we have for tonight at the Boise State Esports Arena. So have a great night. Continue to tune in for the rest of the week. We still have content for you, and have a wonderful night.